All right, guys, welcome to your 3.5 determinant. Here's your warm-up for today. So today we're going to solve the matrix below using your calculator. So just a reminder, this is what you would do, okay? So grab your calculator, and I'm going to clear everything, and the button you push is alpha zoom. So alpha zoom, just like that. Notice the limitation using this method is it has to be a TI-84 calculator, and that you can only have a maximum of 6 rows, 6 columns, okay? And if you look at every one of these, you have a 2 by 3, a 3 by 2, and a 2 by 2. All of them are under a 6 by 6. And because of that, we can use the calculator for this method. Type it just like you see it. So this one is a 2 by 3. 2 rows by 3 columns. Push enter, go down to OK. Notice how your dimension comes up, and it's going to go straight across. The only problem with this is do not push enter until the very last thing. All right, so -4, and you're going to use this negative, not that one, this negative, okay? So -4, right click, -1, right click, 5, right click, and it automatically goes to the next row. 6, right click, -3, right click, -4. Right click out of that. That little dot means multiplication. You got a parentheses, so type in your parentheses. Alpha zoom. This time it is a 3 by 2. And you push OK. And you type that in 0, 2, -2, 3, -3, -1 times, okay? If you look at that one, order of operation, you would have performed this first, and you can multiply those. Alpha zoom, and this time you have a 2 by 2, and you type in -3, -5, 2, 5. Get out of that, there's a parentheses, so I add close parentheses, and once you type everything in, you push enter. And there you have your solution, okay? That's all you had to do, and that was straight calculator. So 7, -15, -40, -55. And your solution is a 2 by 2. And you can kind of check. You can multiply those together, and when you do, you get a 3 by 2. And then you multiply times the one in front of it. Okay? You see how these are the same? So your final answer is a 2 by 2, just like you thought you would. And that's how you can check. And that is your warm-up. Make sure you submit this online in the warm-up section of 3.5. All right, let's look at today. Today you're going to be, students will be able to determine the determinant of a matrix. So the word you're going to learn today is the word determinant. Okay? All right. So let's take a look what a determinant is. Determinants of a matrices won't have much impact on us on their own, but we will use them down the road. So for right now, you are not going to write them like it doesn't serve any purpose. But the determinant help us in inverses, which is the next section. All right, so to start, how do you write a determinant? Well, this is what you do for a determinant. You can write it like this. Say, for example, you have an A matrix, and we're going to call that 4, -4, 2, 0. All right. And this matrix is an A. So how do you write a determinant? You can write it like this. The letter DET and the name of the matrix. Okay? So here's one way you can write it. DET. You are telling me the determinant of a matrix, or you can write it like this. A line with an A and another line. It does not mean absolute value. So there's one way you can tell if it's a determinant. So now let's take a look at an example. Okay. All right. So how do you find? Basically, a determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix is the difference of the products of the diagonals. To find your determinant, by the way, it needs to be a square matrix. And let me refresh you what a square matrix is. The rows and the dimension has to be the same. A 2 by 2, a 3 by 3, a 4 by 4, and so forth. Okay? It has to be a square matrix for you to find your determinant. To find your determinant, basically, you have A times D minus B times C. So let's take a look at the first example. Here's your A, here's your B, here's your C, here's your D. Okay? You're going to take A times D, so 3 times negative 9, minus B times C, 2 times 0. 3 times negative 9 is negative 27, negative 2 times 0 is 0, and when you add them together, the determinant of A is negative 27. Hang on just a moment. All right. I will continue in part B.